Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy George Michael Perez, aka GMike, and y'all already know what it is, baby. Back with another episode of the G Perspective. This week, bringing on a new guest, Rodney Washington, big time Atlanta Falcons fan. We go over how the Falcons are doing this year. Started off 2-0, lost last week to the Detroit Lions, but still looked pretty promising going down the year. And we talk about the Damian Lillard trade going to the Milwaukee Bucks. So great episode, very informative, one of my favorite episodes so far as well. But don't forget, guys, to follow me on all my socials, on Twitter at GeorgeMike Perez, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMikeMedia_, and the podcast itself is available on all podcast platforms under the G Perspective and YouTube as well. So let's get it. Rodney, what's good with you?
Man, what up, bro? How you doing, man? How you doing? I really appreciate you having me on, man, on the real.
No, I appreciate you, man, giving me your time. I know you're a busy guy, man. You got school going on. You got a lot of side projects going on. So I really appreciate you taking your time out. You know, come on for a little 30-minute talk real quick about your Atlanta Hawks and this Dame Dollar situation, man.
Man, I'm ready. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Don't you worry, bro. I'm going to keep it a buck with you about that trade.
I love it. Real quick, man, I just a little curious because I love to hear on my past classmates or when I was in school and stuff and how they're doing right now in their situation. How's it going for you? And because you got graduation coming up, right?
Next month on the 21st, November 21st, I'm finally going to be getting my diploma just like you, bro.
Yeah. You must be excited, bro.
Man, excited ain't the word. The journey was pretty cool. I just got done with Radcliffe class. So finally doing them 10-minute assignments, to staying up all night, had to do the 2-man show, getting done at 6 a.m. with all the time sheets, cut sheets, going straight to the studio and doing your thing. It's a different beast, but I'm glad I went through that because everybody in the program got to go through that tired, but you still got to push through and through it. So I'm really glad I went through that gauntlet and able to get an A out that class. So I was pretty happy about that one. And also I want to send my heart out to Radcliffe. He had that message, that he posted on X and Facebook. So I want to send my heart out to Mr. Radcliffe also, sir. I really appreciate you and my heart with you, big dog.
Yeah, man. That's awesome to say for sure. Right now, because I know you're a military dude, so for sure you were getting no type of sleep with those assignments, man. Because I know I wasn't. You must be on different time.
Man, I'm telling in the military, we do ops, we have late night ops and missions. I'm telling you, Full Sail got the same type of deal. Not military wise, but you're gonna have to put in that time too. Yeah, so man. Full Sail can get that time up out of you.
No, and it's funny because people from the outside looking in, they don't really know what the amount of work that we put in and the amount of time that we put into that work. And it's if I could compare it to anything, it really is a full-time job with some OT hours every week, man.
Bro, that's big facts, man. I don't see how people got full-time jobs and actually doing the program. So I really salute those people because fortunate enough, I got a military retirement. So all I do is focus on school and my career that I'm going to talk about later on. But I'm just glad I can just do these assignments, stay up all night, hopefully get them done. We're supposed to have them done by, we got to sign on Monday through Sunday.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go on Tuesday, but we all do it. We all start last minute.
Yeah. No, I was one of those that I was doing a full-time job with the school, man. But I was telling Jared and Nick, because they were just, doing school, and then Nick had the part-time job, but I was telling him, yo, man, take as much time as you can when you're free to just work on your stuff, bro, because it's going to make you that much better, man.
Man, I completely agree. Whenever I got some time, I can really work on my own self, pick a phone up, pick a phone up and talk in front of the phone or go in front of a mirror. I got a mirror in my living room, go in front of the mirror and just see my facial expressions, how I look, all that type of stuff, how your face look and how you be looking when you're telling the story. And even hand movement when you at the desk and you're trying to get your hands right. some people try to do the hands like this, like that, but you got to get the hands and swag right. When you're at the desk and stuff like that. So got to find your own swag, your own voice.
Yeah, it's funny because Radcliffe and also Rishi, they would make fun of me a little bit because like us Cubans, like we talk with our hands, like we be moving like this, and it'd be funny when they say stuff, man.
Gotta have that passion though.
Yeah, facts. Another thing that I wanted to ask you, because I know that you got some great news when you're about to graduate and you're gonna start right into a job that's major blessings right there, because not everybody can do that. So congrats to you. But let these people know exactly what I'm talking about.
For sure. Right now, I'm currently doing play-by-play freelancing contract with Marquee Broadcasting. So what I do is every Friday, I drive from Orlando, Florida to South Georgia to cover a game. They give me the game of the week. So like yesterday, I did Sumner County versus Cook County, and I was in Americus, Georgia, and I had to leave the game right after the game at 11, drive here to make my sports model class. Shout out to Mr. McNeely, by the way, at 0900. And that's just how I do it. If I got classes like last month with Flash, same type of way, two times out the month, I had to come do an assignment. Call a game, come back, class of 09. So the last game going to be November 3rd, which is kind of good so I can really focus on Rishi class fully, because that's the last one. And I really want to, give all my time to Rishi in my last one to get my craft right. But December 6th, I start actually with CBS 44 WSWG in Albany, Georgia, where I'm from. Be a sports reporter back where I'm from. I got it tatted on me. It's kind of blurred out, but got Albany tatted on me. And I'll have my grandma and my family be able to see me on TV where I was born at. Shout out to Albany, Georgia, 229. That's where I'm from.
That's beautiful, bro. That's fucking awesome, man. Honestly, dude. Congrats to you, man. And I already know that with the work ethic that you put in, you're a military dude, bro. For sure, you're going to shine out there, bro. And it's just going to go to different heights, higher levels, and more blessings, dude. For sure.
Man, I just want to at first be a part of the team, and then I want to be the chief telling the Indians what to do. But at first, you gotta, I'm down here.
Yeah, you got to.
They're pretty impressed with like what I can do, but I just want to start here down, and then don't worry, I'm be up through there eventually. But
just
want to prove my work first.
Even if they ask you, yo, can you give me a cup of coffee? Man, I'm gonna give you the best cup of coffee. Starbucks, you want Starbucks? I'll reach that shit.
Man, you can't. Dude. I'm not beneath anything, and I'm not too under to do nothing, and I can do anything over that they feel I can do also. So I'm gonna do what I got to do, bro.
Exactly. If you've been around all circles, if you've been down in the trenches and then above the skyscrapers, like, dude, like you would be the ultimate boss because you just know how things work in and around all these circles. So that's honestly awesome to have, bro. Like, people don't really see it like that, but when you really put it into perspective, if you know of all of that, you put it into one, bro, trust me, you'll be the ultimate boss.
Shout out to Uncle Sam, which is U.S. Army, and shout out to my moms for always instilling being humble. But yet, when it's time to be a leader and take charge, you gotta, alpha yourself out and
yes, sir.
Just be a good leader, but don't be an asshole though. That's the most important.
Yes, sir. Asshole, man. Yep. People will respect you more with the respect that you give back to them. 100%. Yeah. Well, man, we got to get into these topics right here, man, because the first one was kind of heartbreaking for me. I saw your IG and Facebook crying a little bit, bro. I felt for you, man. Oh man, yeah. Damian Lillard got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, ladies and gentlemen. He got traded over there. He was supposed to go to the Miami Heat like he wanted, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. He got traded to the Blazers on a three-team trade, which involved the Phoenix Suns, the Portland Trail Blazers, and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks got Dame Dollar out of that deal. Portland receives Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara. I don't want to butcher his name. I'm sorry if I did.
Right.
Yeah. The Bucks got 2029. They got the Bucks 2029 unprojected first round pick, and then 2 pick swap rights for 2028 and 2030. And for the Suns, they received Jaroslav Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Narcia Little, and Keenan Johnson. Just before we get into the nitty-gritty about that, I want to hear your feelings and your thoughts about this trade.
Well, I was in the last time I really was in this type of shock with a trade was, you remember when Kawhi Leonard went to the Clippers and that was just total left field?
Yeah.
That's kind of how shocked I was when I saw this trade that was announced, because we all thought he was going to Miami. But I mean, to be honest, it's been a lot of big players that's been talking about they want to go to Miami, like, Kevin Durant said something like this.
Yep.
Dame Lillard, and I think it was two other big players that also say they want to come down to Miami. And it seemed like y'all not getting them. And I kind of got a theory why, bro.
Okay, I want to hear this. Hell yeah.
Bro, I think it's because a lot of people do not want to play with Jimmy Butler, bro.
You think so?
Wow. I think it may be the Jimmy Butler effect, because Jimmy is such a great player. He led you guys to the finals a couple of times. But I think his personality, it doesn't collide well with other superstars, I believe. Like when he was with Minnesota, he didn't get along with Karl Anthony Towns. When he was in Philadelphia, he had issues with Ben Simmons and B. So I just believe that it'll kind of been more difficult for. I think Dame could have got along with Jimmy, but I just think of all like the naysayers and everybody always wooing about Jimmy Butler. I think that's kind of a reason why I think ultimately the trade went the way it did. But I did see that video that Jimmy Butler immediately.
Yeah, literally.
Now, I kind of believe him, because if you saw the All-Star game, Giannis did take Dame first when damn well Dame was not supposed to be the first pick. But I mean, I digress from that.
Yeah.
But one key thing about this trade that a lot of people, is kind of missing a little bit is that Drew Holiday to the Blazers deal, and they're trying to piece him to send him to a contender.
Yep.
He could go back. Maybe he could go back to
back to Milwaukee. Wow, that's another thing I didn't think of either. Wow.
Maybe he could go back to Milwaukee if what I'm saying, they can kind of work a deal that way.
That'd be insane. Dame and Drew at backcourt, and then Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. Wow.
And that'd be pretty cold. Trust me. Them Bucks hurt me because remember, I'm a Hawks fan.
Yeah, of course.
Beyond did their thing one year, and we got knocked out by them Bucks. And I always got big respect for Milwaukee and Giannis for staying down. But and shout out to Milwaukee for making a big, Giannis talking about I didn't want to be there anymore, and just like that, we go get Dame. So I got to give kudos to the Bucks making them movements that fast. And also shout out to them Blazers, man. I actually like the Blazers getting Ayton. I mean, a lot of people kind of poo-poo Ayton, and, he was a number one pick overall. And, I mean, overall career, he's averaging 16 and 10. I mean, every year he averaged a double-double so far in the league. So I think he can, this year he probably can get that 20 and 10 because he's going to have more looks with Scoop, and he's going to actually be the actual superstar of the team. So I'm looking forward to him actually being the actual number one player. So I'm kind of interested to see what DeAndre is going to do out there. And I know he wasn't happy in Phoenix. So that's kind of my beginning synopsis of that trade.
Yeah, with that, with what you just said, I think the pick and roll situation with Scoot is going to be awesome. I think that's why they really did that trade, because they wanted a big man to pair next to Scoot so he could have either you're going to drive it in and dish it up and give him that alley, or Scoot's going to take the mid-range shot. He could really do anything on the floor.
Yeah.
My bad. No, you're good.
Okay. Now also, Portland got Anthony Simmons. They got some, offensive dynamites. And, I think Scoop is going to be a perennial all-star. I'm not saying Hall of Fame or anything like that, but it is easy to make the Hall of Fame in the NBA. But I can see Scoop making the All-Star maybe 3 or 4 times. He's going to be, I'm not saying alone, but he's going to get more shot opportunities. Hopefully Chauncey Billups can coach him up. Chauncey's still kind of a young coach trying to find himself. But hot take, though. I got a hot take for you. I don't have the Bucks actually winning the East next year. I still don't believe in it yet. I'm leaning with Boston, and I know my Hawks fans is gonna get me for saying that, but I actually do like Boston taking that leap next year and actually
With
win the title.
KP, with the signing of KP, or you just mean just overall before that?
Just overall, they've been trying to get over the top. It took Giannis a while to get his first ring. It took Jordan 6-7 years to get his first ring. I just think now it's going to be Boston's turn, that they've been taking their lumps, going to the finals when they was younger, getting beat by LeBron, and then now you're getting beat by the Bucks. And I just think with the maturity of Boston now, KP, Brown is actually happy that he need to go ahead and give me $2. He made so much money. He can give all of us $2 or something.
He got a few bucks in his pocket.
With Brogdon, and I just like how Boston is setting themselves up, but I kind of gonna go with Boston's gonna take the East this year.
Okay. The only reason I don't like that is because of the outing of Marcus Smart, because I feel like Marcus Smart was a Draymond Green for the Golden State Warriors. Like his leadership, his vocalness, his tenacity to push his teammates and get them to that confidence level that they need to be at. Like I think he was a vital piece for them, and it's gonna hurt them that he has to leave like that. And Derek White has to replace him. Derek White's a great player. I just don't see him as a vocal leader like that. I could be wrong. Obviously, we're not in the locker room, but from what I see from just watching what's going on the court and interviews and stuff like that, I don't think Derek White can fill that void as that vocal leader. Really.
I gotta agree with you on the Derek White, the Marcus Smart aspect, but I know Smart is kind of a big loss, but I just don't associate Smart with the importance of how Green was to Golden State. I think they can I just think they can compensate for Marcus Smart being off that team because of because they have two good forwards. Like they have Tatum, who's a decent defender. You got Brown, who is a damn good defender. And you still got Williams, who's going to be in that paint also. Al Horford is like 5,000 years old, but he's still
a dinosaur over there.
Yeah, but he's still a damn good player too. So
yeah, he is.
It's still early, games. I haven't seen a preseason game yet. I just trying to have a hot take for you, but I am gonna be, I do like what Boston is going, but I still rooting for my Hawks. Hopefully my Hawks can kind of, get something in this free agency world and we can make some moves ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, your backcourt is straight. John St. Murray and Trae Young. You just need I think Clint Capella, if he could like step up to the plate and become a way better player, I think he could really help you guys out. But I feel like his ceiling has just been topped, and I don't know what it is, but he needs to bust through it to help him out, bro.
Let me go and say something right quick. It's time for Capella to go. It's time for him to go. We have another big man called Big O, who we had drafted. We drafted from USC. It's Big O time to be our starting center. I believe the starting lineup should be Trae at the point, DeJounte at the 2, Hunter at the 3. See, this is where I be torn at because I like Sadiq Bey and I like Bogey. And Bogey been there longer, but Sadiq Bey, I like. So I'm gonna have to put Sadiq Bey at the 4.
I like Bey's defense. I like his defense a lot.
And he's a 3-and-D guy, bro. Like he can hit the threes and he's a pretty good defender. So I'll put him at the 4. Big O at the 5 and try to flip Capella for a second round draft pick or try to bring another veteran presence who can be a good inside defender or somebody who can be up and coming. And I do like Jalen Johnson too. We drafted that rookie from Michigan. I like where we're going, but I wish we could find a way to get we can flip Hunter for Bridges from Brooklyn. I just think we need that elite forward. And I hope Hunter takes that leap that I want him to take to be our Kevin Durant, if you will, but we got to have a good 3-man. And Hunter's kind of injury prone, damn good player, but I just think them injuries is just kind of taking us a step back a little bit, and we're just not in the upper echelons of the top 3-4 teams in the East. I just think we got to catch up a little bit.
Yeah. No, Miami's on the same tip right now too. It's just we need the consistency of Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. Max Strus is out. Gabe Vincent is out. So now Caleb Martin is going to take that next step. Hopefully he does take that next step. And we need to depend on them too. But we're in the same area as you guys. We're not in the top 4. Top 4, I would think Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, even though Philly's going down the gutter a little bit too. And then I have 4, maybe Cleveland.
New York, Cleveland's, New York.
Brooklyn. Well, Brooklyn's still 6, but still, it's up for grabs, really. It's up for grabs. Yeah,
I completely agree with that.
Yeah. The one thing I want to address that you started saying out first with the whole the four big fish that we try to get: Kevin Durant, Donovan Mitchell, Bradley Beal, and now Damian Lillard. Just to address this for my fellow Heat fans, it does make sense on what you're saying that other players don't want to play with Jimmy Butler because of his attitude. Because I don't think everybody is up for that attitude. Just like it's like not everybody can go to Miami and be next to Udonis Haslem and hear oh you're being a this, you're being a that, like yo you need to step up, like you're hearing curse words all the time and you're getting bitched at all the time and this and that. And it's like not everybody can take that echelon. Not everybody can take that attitude and go home at night and feel good about it and be like, you know, that they're just pushing me to be better and stuff. Like some other players, some other people in the world really just need a different approach. They need an approach of like, yo, you got this. Like LeBron does with his players. Yo, you got this. Don't worry. Keep shooting, blah, 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 and this and that. So I kind of go ahead.
I was going to say, I think some leaders just have different leadership skills. You know, Michael Jordan was tough. You know, he punched Steve Kerr allegedly. You know, it ain't no alleged. We know.
No, he did.
And you got Kawhi Leonard who just lead with just the way he plays. You got LeBron James who can, you know, be tough, but also sometimes be a little chill too. Mm-hmm. And you got Dirk Nowitzki. You got Tim Duncan. It's just so many people lead their different ways. And I think for Jimmy, if you can play your ass off, Jimmy not gonna fuck with you like that. He's gonna let you do what you do. But if you're not busting your ass and giving a 10 down all the time, and I think that's when Jimmy's gonna have a problem with him. But honestly, I think if Dame would have went to Miami, that shit would have been beautiful, bro. Because I don't think Jimmy could have really had an issue with Dame. Dame averaged 32, like the most. Like this dude been in the league for 11 years. Like he averaged the most points last year.
Yeah.
Like that's just amazing.
He's about to be what, 34?
34 years old. Like we're around. That's crazy. I'm older than Dame Lillard. Like, I'm older than Dame. But
you think about it like, damn.
He can play his ass off, man. And I'm proud of how the Blazers GM played the situation of still letting him go to his team that, you know, still trading him away, but didn't give that out of like he's disloyal, of like how they kind of did Kevin Durant with OKC or the first time when LeBron James left Cleveland. It's not no real bad press of him leaving Portland. And I think that's kind of important of how Portland sees Dame to not give him no bad press out the door. So I think it's just that much of a smoother movement for him that he's not getting no flack from the Portland side of like the news. So that just speaks a lot of how Dame is, and he's gonna drop some records about this. So I'm kind of waiting to see what he.
Yeah, he already did. He dropped one already. I think
I got to take a listen to that.
Farewell. Yeah, I think it's called Farewell.
Is that? I think I saw a clip. Like, didn't he kind of do like a little sneak this to Scoop a little bit?
It wasn't really towards him. It was more towards Blazers, like saying like, "Yo, you can't replace me," and it's true. You can't replace me. You can't.
Quick question for you: do you think he is the best Blazers player ever for that team?
It's hard to really like just say yes, but I do want to go with yes. It's just there's been a lot of dope players over there. Clyde Drexler, like even when Scottie Pippen went over there, he was pretty good too.
At Walton, he won a title, MVP. Back in the day before his leg kind of gave out on him. So it's been a lot of good Blazers.
Rasheed Wallace was dope too. LaMarcus Aldridge, Brandon Roy, if he didn't mess up his knees, like dude, it's been a lot of
that what if right that burns me. That what if right there gets me every time. Like him and Derrick Rose, man, those are two what ifs.
Yeah, man,
it kind of gets me.
Always feel bad for them, bro. Always feel bad for them. So what I was saying with Pat Riley, because I get what you're saying about like players maybe not wanting to play with Butler. My thing is that I think that Pat Riley is such a good president of basketball operations, and some fellow Heat fans will disagree with me because they want him out. But this is the reason why I say it. All those players, those four top players that wanted to come to Miami, the teams that wanted to trade, the teams that they were playing for that wanted to trade, either wanted Jimmy or Bam. And it's like, okay, first, we're not going to give up those because they took us to the finals twice, 4 Eastern Conference finals. Like, why would we give them up for another superstar that, yes, that is arguably better than them for sure, But how do you know that they're going to lead the team the right way to get them to that point? How do you know that they're going to bring in the same work ethic that they have? How do you know that they're going to have the same chemistry with the team as them? You don't. So I think Pat Riley's like, yo, I'm not going to give up my star players for another star player. I believe in these guys and I want to work with these guys. And then when it came to Portland, we offered him basically our whole bench and our staff and our fans for Dame. And they just said no. And I feel like the reason why they said no was because Dame came out flat and said, yo, I want to go to Miami and no other team. And
Right.
I felt like they got petty and they're like, yo, we're not going to do that. We're going to send you wherever we want. And you could see it with this trade, right? Because Drew Holiday is not in the mix with Portland. They want to ship him out of there. The main thing for me, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Rodney, but the main thing for me is that they wanted DeAndre Ayton. And if they wanted DeAndre Ayton, they could have still pulled this trade off with Miami instead of Milwaukee. But they didn't because they were being petty and they didn't want to send Dame to where he wanted to go because he said, that's the only team I want to play for. So that's the take that I have on it, really. But
that's not a bad take. Personally, I'm a Jimmy Butler fan. Even though he did that to me, I remember that year when Trae Young said, I haven't seen a good defense like this since high school. Oh, yeah. I was at the series when y'all beat us down.
That's right. Yeah, I saw your story. I remember.
Yeah, so I always got a big respect for Jimmy Butler. You know, when he took y'all to the finals in the bubble, you know, unfortunately I had to play the Lakers and they had a fully loaded, safely put Anthony Davis, who didn't have to play a whole regular season because of the Kobe, healthy as hell, Kobe year. And then, you know, y'all also went to the finals. Jimmy's a dog, man. Even though he may not be the top 5 best player in the NBA, but he has, as cliche as it sounds, he has that it factor. Yeah, he's not the best 3-point shooter, but he can make that 3. He may not be the best 2-point shooter, but he's gonna get to his spot and find his shot. And you got to admire somebody who has the tenacity of a Jimmy Butler. You know his backstory of sending like his I think he tried to send his transcript or something through like a McDonald's fax machine. Like he really came from the gut. Yep. And I can always respect somebody who, you know, like me, who didn't grow up, you know, in the best circumstances to, you know, go from the gutter and find your way up to the top. And I can always respect the man who always can start down here and build his way up. So I'm always going to have respect and kind of argue for Jimmy Butler on the low until my Hawks got to play him.
I feel that. I respect that. Before we move on, the last thing that I want to talk about, let's just talk about how this is going to look for Milwaukee. And I know that you said that you got Boston as number 1, that you don't got Milwaukee. You probably have Milwaukee as number 2, but you correct me if I'm wrong. But just to get clarity with how the Milwaukee Bucks are going to look this season and how well that you think that Dame will click with Giannis and everybody else on the Milwaukee team.
You know, honestly, I think they're going to be the number 1 seed. I still think they're going to be the best team in the East, but I just think that Boston been playing together longer than, you know, how the Bucks is. But I could be wrong, though. But I remember in Miami when you guys, they got LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Bosh, and we all, including me, thought it was going to be a foregone conclusion. You guys are going to win because of all that talent on one team. And Dirk Nowitzki kind of, you know, snuck y'all a little bit.
He said not.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the same type of deal. I think they're gonna look good going into the playoffs, but I just think that when you got to slow it down a little bit more and more half-court offense, you can't go as fast-paced. I think that's just gonna help, you know, Philly or Boston. I really think Boston is gonna be the one to take the Bucks out in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they're both going to be 1 and 2 seed, dominate their both playoff series. You know, and I ain't going to say sweet. I'm not going to predict it all that, but I just think they're going to comfortably go to the Eastern Conference Finals, both of them. And I just think Boston is going to take them out in 6. Remember that.
Nice. One thing I think Milwaukee. I'm with you. I think Milwaukee's going to be number 1 for sure. I think they're going to fly by teams in the East. Boston can give them a run for sure. I just think Milwaukee will be on top. And the reason why I think Milwaukee will be on top, because I think Damian Lillard going over there, just like if he would have gone to Miami or maybe like even Philly or maybe the Clippers, because you were talking about the Clippers as well. But him going to Milwaukee, I really think that he's going to flip kind of his focus towards defense, because I think that his offense is solidified. Like, there's no question about it. This guy is top 5 offensive player in the NBA right now. Top 2 in point guards. I would put Steph Curry in front of him. But I think that he's going to focus more on defense because of Giannis being there, Drew getting out of there, and he has to fill that void of defensively playing the perimeter. I think he's going to focus more, and he's going to get better at it, and I think it's going to really help him down the stretch on how he plays defensively. Now, if I'm wrong and he's still going to be the same offensive player, it's going to be tough for when he plays Boston, for instance. Who's going to cover Jason Tatum? Who's going to cover Jaylen Brown? Yeah, you got Giannis and you got Chris Middleton, but Chris Middleton is not that great of a defender. He's all right. He's pretty good, but he's not that great of a defender. And if you got someone as athletic as Damian Lillard that can play defense, man, there's no telling where they could really go.
It's kind of cool that you said that. If Dame Lillard makes second all defensive team, they will get the title. Yeah. If he makes he averaged 32, let's maybe say 24, 25 a game, dial it back a little bit, focus more on defense, taking their best point guard or best guard who's in kind of his height. Because I can't wait to see Dame against Steph in this type of scenario. Like, imagine a Bucks versus Warriors finals.
That'd be fire.
Steph, Dame, 1-on-1. And it's not just some West Coast stuff where they can knock each other out. Dame would love to do nothing better but to bust Steph Curry ass in the finals, man. So that's the matchup I would love to see in the finals. A healthy Bucks and a healthy Warriors team. Even though I know people probably tired of the Warriors making the finals, but I love seeing threes and I love seeing dynamic offensive play. And hopefully Clay can, get back to how he was, back in the day. But those injuries, you can't it's kind of hard to get back from those injuries in the age he's kind of at right now. But yeah, that's the finals I would love to see: a Steph versus Dame and Draymond and Giannis, Lopez, and whoever going to be the big man. The Warriors are always wiggling,
recycling.
They're always Looney. They're always going to find somebody, to be serviceable for them. But that would be a finals matchup. Just without going into the season knowing anything right now, that would be the matchup I would love to see. Other than my Hawks, of course, but I would love to see.
Yeah, facts, of course. We want to see our teams in the finals, but just being an analyst like we are, yeah, like for sure, I would love to see Bucks and Warriors too. I think that would be a great matchup. Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next thing, man, because your Atlanta Falcons right now are 2-1 going into Week 4. Surprisingly, they started 2-0. I'm going to say surprisingly because it was surprising to me, really. But your defense is great. Top 15 in the league right now. Actually 14th. And you guys are great on the run defense, really stopping teams from running the ball. Your pass defense is pretty good as well, too. But it's just your run defense is a little better. Your best offensive player right now, in my opinion, is Bijan Robinson.
Oh, you're damn right.
213 rush yards, 39 carries. He has 0 TDs, but he has 14 receptions for 102 yards and a TD, which was in the first week of his
reception TD. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So right now, with your team being 2-1, tomorrow you guys play the Jacksonville Jaguars at 9 a.m. in London. How are you feeling about your squad going into Week 4?
Shout out to Dickie Moss, man. He's a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. We're going to go live later on so I can pop my stuff to him. But honestly, I'm feeling very confident that we actually can beat him. Last week they did get upset by C.J. Stroud, who is having a hell of a year. Shout out to C.J. Stroud. But get back to my Falcons. It's been – I have not been able to say since 2016 we have a defense.
Yeah.
We acquired Jesse Bates, Hayden Ellis, Calais Campbell, Onyemata. Like, we actually have been making strides of getting this defense right, and it's actually coming to fruition. But we did lose Troy Anderson, a pretty damn good linebacker. That was like our foresight Aluka, and that was our fast linebacker. He's going to be out for a while. But I am feeling pretty confident. Of course, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. My biggest issue with the team, other than Arthur Smith play calling sometimes, is the play of Desmond Ridder.
Yes. 100%, bro.
He is 2-1. He has 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And my main issue is that he's not throwing the ball up the field. He's checked down a lot, and he's just not making the necessarily big plays. Let me go ahead and pull up a couple of things for you.
But with big, real quick, just on what you said, with the big plays, so you rather prefer the big plays instead of him being like intelligent in the pocket? If it's not there, scramble, get outside, and if it's not really there, throw the ball out or get some accurate plays going. Or you rather him like be like a big play highlight type of dude?
I think he got to find his way in the middle. I understand this is his first legit year starting, but I seen Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh throw the ball up the field to Pickens. Like I'm seeing CJ Stroud throw deep plays to Brandon Cooks. I've only seen one deep throw so far that Desmond Ridder made up the field. Okay. We just can't be slant, man. We can't do Drew Brees throwing to Michael Thomas the whole game. You got to take some shots. We have unicorns. We have Drake London, who's going to be in London, so that's pretty cool. London,
he's like 6'5" too. He's a big
dude. USC stout possession receiver, and we got that unicorn from went to Florida, Kyle Pitts, who at this point, if he requests a trade, I can't be mad at him. I really can't, because I don't utilize him the best way we can. And Arthur Smith is the type of coach, because I do listen to the press conference closely. Like, he's not a guy who want to get the players involved because they're great players. He want to go by the game plan. And I have to disagree with that. If you have Justin Jefferson, you force feed him. When Stafford had Calvin Johnson Jr., you force feed him. You got Pitts, you got Drake. I mean, we did target Pitts a lot last game, so I'm not going to cap like.
Because the fans were talking shit. The fans were talking shit.
You damn right we was. Like, I want to see some potent passing one time. We have Tyler Algier. We have Bijan Robinson. We have unicorns all over the field. But I don't think this team is going to work unless Desmond Ridder played right. Or if not, we going to go to Heineken. No, I'm just playing. Taylor Heineke, who our backup quarterback. Because, he is from Georgia. So, I mean,
you get a lot of love out there.
Yeah, so he will get some love, but if we do go to Taylor, we can't go back to Desmond. So, like I'm telling everyone, like everybody want to put Taylor in ASAP, but we got to be damn sure Desmond is not it before we actually make that move and going with Taylor. Because once we go, I'm not going back. Like I know I'm a first impression quarterback type of guy. Like, Geno Smith is an outlier who didn't play well at the beginning, but got a new start and actually made great play for himself and got another contract. So I'm like a first impression quarterback type of guy, which is kind of a bad thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but honestly, if we're all being honest with ourselves, I think every NFL fan is really like that, dude. Because there's no patience when it comes to football, man. Basketball, MLB, even with UFC, there's patience because you can see the development in the player or the fighter. But when it comes to football, man, there's no patience, bro. Everybody is impatient and they want to win now. No matter if they know that the team is gonna be, which I don't think that you guys are, but like if I'm talking about a team right now, I would say the Texans. People think that the Texans are not gonna do shit and they're not gonna go anywhere. But the way that CJ Stroud is playing, it's like, oh wow. Very impressed. You know what I'm saying?
Third most yard passing in the first 3 weeks, only behind Cam Newton and Justin Herbert. Like, pretty impressive, man. Like, salute to CJ Stroud, man. I'm glad he didn't go to the Panthers, man, at this point. I mean, Bryce Young is, I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback, but if CJ Stroud was in the Panthers, oh my goodness gracious.
I think I just thought about this right now, so this is why I'm going to say it. But I think you guys should draft Shadio Sanders, bro. I think you guys should draft him.
It's I'm gonna try to find it. Was an Atlanta page on Instagram that made that photo of Shadur going to Atlanta, and I would not oppose it. Maybe take him like third or fourth round.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because I don't think he'll go first round.
Yeah. Value pick, maybe, But the only thing about the NFL is not like how you was talking about with the MLB. They got single A, double A, basketball got the G League. NFL doesn't have that. You got college and you got practice squad. So, like, once you get drafted, your ass better be ready. Yeah, but facts. I would like us to get Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Coast off, chill for a little bit, and eventually maybe he would get that shot with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be dope for sure. So looking at you guys right now, Where do you think that you guys will fall in the division moving forward? Obviously, it's still early in the year. There's a lot of football to be played. But where do you think you guys are going to fall in this season? And where do you think you're going to fall in the division? Because the division is kind of weak. It's not one of the best divisions there is. So I think there's potential for you guys to become first place.
Right now, currently, I am looking up the schedule, and we have a weak-ass schedule. Shout out to the NFC South. Every team in the NFC South got a weak schedule.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I think 11 wins takes the NFC South.
Okay.
To be quite honest, I believe we can be the team to win the division. Now, if you want to say take your heart out of it, I still feel like the Falcons can still win this division. You know, Derek Carr got an injury, and they had to put in Winston, and they lost to the Packers, which is, you know, and the Packers did have to
quarter comeback. Yep.
Right. And we fortunately a Jordan Love fake QB, you know, false start. That was the reason why we beat the Packers ourselves. So I really believe, you know, going to the schedule, you know, we played Jacksonville, who got beat by Texans, Commanders, Buccaneers. I'm going to that game, by the way. Vikings, Cardinals, Saints, Jets, Bucks. Like, the schedule is pretty light. We're playing a lot of young quarterbacks. Like, we play the Colts. I don't know if they're going to have Anthony Richardson or Gardner Minshew, who a lot of people do like as their backup quarterback. But I believe 11 wins can take the NFC South. 11 wins. And I think that's going to be our record. If we win the South, got to be 11 wins to take this division. But I got to have, excuse my language, great motherfucking play from Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, no,
you're going to have to bring it. He has to bring it. Jesse Bates is, I wish I can put him as a wide receiver or something, because he hits like it's
two-way player right there. They need to change that in the NFL. Put two-way players out there.
I'm not used to having an elite defensive player saying, I want to play for the Falcons. Like, we don't normally get those premier free agents. We always get them when they're older. Like, you know, we had got Abraham when he was older, or who can who else we got when he was kind of.
Yeah, I don't
want to ramble too. Yeah, I don't want to ramble too much about that. But Falcons, we are a retirement home for getting, you know, older players at the end of the career. I don't want to really work that out. Like, what's Tony Gonzalez? Now, we got Tony G a little later on. Like, hey, I rock with Tony G.
Yeah,
come back. It's going to be a tight end coach for us. No, come back. You know what I'm saying? Come back to us. But all in all, I do like where the Falcons are at this year in the NFC South, because all the teams are down. I am impressed with the Buccaneers play with Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans connection. Like that kind of, I mean,
that's very surprising.
Yeah, y'all surprised me, but 11 wins, I really think we can do it. Not first, we can be at least second in the division.
Yeah, in your division, I would say that you guys have the second best defense, because I think the Saints are still up there. I think the Saints would be like top 10. I think you guys, right now, you're top 15, but I think you could reach the level of top 10. It just obviously how the year goes on. But going back to your tight end, because there's rumors out there that they're saying that Dallas is going to try and pick him up, try to go for a trade. So just talking about trades, would you want any trades right now for your squad? Is there anybody that you're looking out there that you think that you should avoid in your team?
Yes, and we need to go call the Vikings, you know what I'm saying, hit them up, and we need to go see what's up with Danielle Hunter. That defensive end out there. And for us, you know, you already say we're a top 15 defense. I think if we sure up the other defensive end spot, because sometimes we put Calais Campbell out there, and I think it should be a D tackle. Sometimes we put Grady on the end. You know, they're both kind of big dudes, and I would want like a more of an athletic D end to be on my end. Sometimes we do use Lorenzo Carter or Adabuki, but Danielle Hunter, that dude is a beast, yo.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's a dog.
I think he's somewhat wasting his time out there in Minnesota. I mean, Kirk Cousins. I think the window has been set for the Vikings. I just don't think they're gonna go anywhere with the team as is. And I think if we're gonna move for anything, we should try to package up and try to get Danielle Hunter from the Vikings. That's my number one player who I really want.
It's funny because you bring up Kirk Cousins, because yesterday I was talking to my boy about it, and we were talking about how the Jets should trade for Kirk Cousins, which I don't think that's a good idea, but that's a different conversation. No. Yeah, that's a different conversation for another day. But then I was like, I think the Falcons should trade for Kirk Cousins, because you get Desmond Ritter either out of there or you put him back to the 2 spot. You bring in Kirk Cousins, what he's looking to try to win right now. And the only thing that is holding Kirk Cousins back, well, 2 things. One, this is more of my opinion.
Hmm?
I don't think he's a clutch quarterback. I think he's like my quarterback, Dak Prescott, that he just folds under pressure. But the big fact is that Kirk Cousins always has a terrible defense. In Minnesota, there's always bad defenses there. So you pair him up with a great defense like the Falcons have right now. You bring in Kirk Cousins, that he has weapons. Kyle Pitts, like you mentioned, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier is pretty good too. Like, you guys have weapons out there. You get a quarterback that can place the ball right between the numbers and make big plays. Man,
I gotta holler at my boys right there about that in the group chat. Getting Kirk Cousins. I just don't want that crazy. I don't think it's that contract. We do have the money to afford him.
yeah, true.
I don't want to pay a dude who can't win primetime games $20 million a year though. And I just haven't seen, like you said, that clutch play in the playoffs. I can't think of that one like. Damn, you remember that game from Kirk Cousins when he went off in a clutch moment? It can't pop in my mind, but he got 45 points like last week when he threw for like 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in a regular season game though. But yeah, I need to see that shit in December.
And yeah, December, January, that's when you really got to pull that out.
That's when you really know who is your quarterback.
Yeah, facts. Well, it's looking up. It's looking up for you guys, man. Hopefully, you guys can make a move either at the quarterback position or, hopefully Desmond Ridder, man, he puts on his big boy pants and he starts slinging that without no hesitation and has crazy confidence.
And then I've been defending this man all fucking. I know I'm cussing a lot.
You're good.
All fucking summer. I've been defending this man all summer, yo. Desmond Ridder, if you ever see this, please don't let me down because I do got to make some reports, and I work for CBS soon in Georgia, in Georgia. So I will be reporting closely. I just don't want you to get mad at me by the time you know me or something. But I got to report as fairly as possible, man. And I just, at this point, Desmond Ridder and the play calling offensively is my two biggest issues. And sometimes we do and another thing is the defensive coordinator. If you ever see this one day, if anybody a Falcon fan, we got to stop putting Calais Campbell in QB spot. We can put Bud Dupree.
He's too slow for that, I feel.
We did that against the Packers. Jordan Love just got right past. We got to.
He got like 40 yards rushing, something like that.
We got to put like Bud Dupree, Buki, Lorenzo Carter, somebody who actually run around with these quarterbacks. But you got to do a little bit more smarter game plan than putting Calais Campbell in spot.
Yeah, you guys have the talent for sure. You have the talent. Just need the execution from the QB spot and. Defense, I'm not really worried about your defense, really. I think it's just like the New York Jets, it's your quarterback play. That's all it is. That's all it is.
I felt so bad for them.
Yeah.
When Aaron Rodgers went down, like with that injury, you got to go back to Zach Wilson, and you got your coach being a Zach apologist, it seemed like, and you're losing your locker room. One more, I've got a hot take. I posted this on Facebook. If Aaron Rodgers retire, I think Russell Wilson goes to the Jets.
Oof.
That's what I'm really thinking.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers retires, man. I think he's gonna come back and be on some savage mode. Mode. Like I think he's gonna be so pissed off because I don't see the Jets because they went from being Super Bowl contenders to not making playoffs, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that they make playoffs at all unless Aaron Rodgers finds some way to go back to South America, take that
or Sauce Gardner get every other game or something.
Yeah, dude. Touchdown. Yes, man. They really have to be carried by that defense, man. Because
quick question for you, right quick. What is your expectations of your Cowboys, man? And also, what do you also feel about Stephen A. Smith always trolling y'all 24/7?
Man, Stephen A. just be trolling us because of all the other fans, man. And I get it, bro, because I hear my fellow Cowboys fans, and I just be thinking to myself, too. I'm like, yo, man, y'all get too ahead of yourselves. Y'all be clowning. Like, y'all need to relax, man. Just watch the fucking games. If you don't know what the hell's going on, just watch the fucking games. Because, dude, but to give you my analytical take,
yeah,
our defense is amazing. What we played against the Arizona Cardinals was just a hit from Trayvon Diggs not being there emotionally and mentally. But physicality, I think we were still there. But their run game against us was just so great that our run defense was not to be found. Not to be found. And then, if you don't want to blame it on the defense, because I don't, you come up with 1 for 5 in red zone opportunities. And then on the last one, on the 5th one, your quarterback, once again, throws the game away and throws an interception to seal the game off, and we lose. My thing is, it's always going to fall down to Dak Prescott. And I think he's a good QB, but he's not a great QB. He's not a QB that's going to get us to the promised land, man. And it sucks to say because I really like him, but I'm more of a Dallas Cowboys fan than I am a Dak Prescott fan. And we need to move on if he's not going to show the greatness that he needs to show at the end of the year. I'm not going to say right now too early. I like the fact that we brought in Trey Lance to give that pressure to that he needs to step up. But if he doesn't step up, I think this is the year that we need to let go of him. Either do a trade or put him to the 2 spot and let Trey Lance take over. I don't know. It has to be something, but there's no reason why we have one of the best offenses on paper and we cannot convert more than 2 times in the red zone.
Man, if I was a Cowboy fan last week, I'd have threw every paper cup and paper plate at my goddamn TV, man, because that red zone play was just an atrocity, man. But it seems like the reason why Connor ran so well was it seemed like they ran directly at Minka. Like, if Minka is doing a pass rush, he can dial his head back, get around to the quarterback. But the best way to get at Minka is you got to run straight to him because he's kind of a small player. And if the offensive lineman really get a good block on it, you can kind of go past him. I think that's why Connor went so crazy last game. But I like y'all defense. And me personally, I got Diggs as a top 5 cornerback. Personally. Same. Like I love his play. A lot of people get on him for taking a lot of, he takes a lot of gambles. He can get double took a lot of times, but lead the league in picks, pick machine, get a lot of deflections. It's supposed to be him and Gilmore. That's man. Other than Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard, other than them 2 cornerback tandem, I would have put you guys as like the second best cornerback tandem if they both was healthy. So,
well, I like Reed and Sauce Gardner too. I think they're really good.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah. I got Sauce in my top 10. But for me, my best to be the best cornerback in the NFL right now is Jair. Packers.
Yeah.
Rocking with Jair.
Yeah. On Thursday it was so bad for the Packers, man. You know what it is? That the first quarter you only get 2 offensive yards. You know what that is in the first quarter? I'm going to repeat that for you fans out there.
Please.
The first quarter, the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football against their divisional opponents, the Detroit Lions, they only got 2 offensive yards. Wow.
Damn. It was pretty bad. Like when I saw the score, it's 27-3. I hate when if it's close to 28-3, I gotta change the channel.
Yeah,
dude, I hate that score. When I see 28-3, PTSD come back from the Super Bowl. So I hate that. You gotta be crying thinking about it.
Oh man, yeah, man. It was just so bad, man. I like the before we get out of here, just to talk about that. I love the way that the Lions are looking, man. Shout out to our dog Nick. A big time Lions fan, and
Nick, man.
Yeah, man. They've gone through a lot of heartbreak, bro. They've gone through a lot of heartbreak, and it's just to see that there's so many fans for the Lions that were at Green Bay Lambeau Field for that game. Like you saw more blue than I think you saw green and yellow. Not gonna lie.
I don't think I ever seen that much blue in Lambeau before, to be honest with you. So it's always good to see teams that don't win a lot start winning. That's why I like the NBA how it is. Denver Nuggets got one. Milwaukee got one. It's a good parity league. And
yeah.
It's good to see it. Hopefully, like a team. I'm just throwing a name out the hat. Like maybe the Jaguars or maybe a team like the Bills. I just want to see right teams that don't really get it. It's just good to see teams like that get. Like when the Panthers had Cam Newton, when Cam went crazy that year, they went to the Super Bowl. It's just good to see teams that you don't normally see make a good playoff run. I just like to see parity a little bit.
Yeah. Facts. Hey, man, but it was a great time, bro. I appreciate you giving me your time. But before we get out of here, let these people know where you promote your stuff, where they can watch your stuff. And obviously, December 6th, my dog, CBS time.
Hey, man, you can Well, my name on CBS is gonna be Rodney ABO, Albany's very own Washington. But as you see, I'm flipping these hats. I have a podcast called Snooty Lounge Podcast. You can see it right there where I'm trying to do the TI tip of my hat. But you can follow, I'm like Shaq, you can Google me. Google me. Yeah. Like seriously, just Google Snooty Lounge.
Come up podcast. On the first page, baby.
First page, man. Come on. I learned that. Hey, which class was that? We had to learn, you know what I'm saying, how to
the media preparations or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But Snooty Lounge Podcast, I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Google Cast. Like, I pay my $22 for that Spreaker app. So please go through all those mediums and able to just search Snooty Lounge Podcast and just give me your time. And if you want to be a guest, hit me up on IG. My email address is rodney0055@gmail.com. Again, Rodney, RODNEY0055@gmail.com. Talk sports with me. Walk up on me. I'm from Georgia and I'm a Tennessee fan, University of Tennessee fan. So I know all the UJ fans are going to hate me when I get on in Georgia. And when UJ lose, I can't wait to do it, bro. Like, look, I got an Atlanta hat with the Tennessee on the side. So, like, I'm through it. I'm through and through, man. But I just want to say thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I always like what you did in the studio. I've seen, do play-by-play calling. You did your freelancing things too. And it's just an honor for you to, see something in me to give me the opportunity, just to speak and pop my shit a little bit. Thank you so much, bro.
No, I appreciate it. Guys, you know, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at GMike Media _. The podcast itself, audio version, is available on all podcast platforms under the G Perspective and on YouTube as well. Rodney, thank you again. And I'm gonna have you back on, man. Give it like a 4 or 5 more weeks to see where the Falcons are at, and when the NBA starts, to see what's up with your Atlanta Hawks, man.
If we ain't winning, then I can't be found.
It's gonna be Desmond Ridder. That's why.
That's what I'm going, man. Yeah, I'm a rant. I do be ranting. So like maybe if we losing, I am a epic ranter. So like I don't want to be ranting.
I love that.
I do be crying.
Hey, I love that. I think that's way better content than when people are out there. Oh, just giving my simple take and being calm and this and that. No, show your true personality, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah, be fucking real, basically.
Yeah, that ass. Hey, thank you again, my dog.
For sure. Thank you so much, man. For sure.